Hi, my name is Tony, and my topic is surrounding child abuse, and more specifically, punishment and disciplining a child. The question is, should parents physically discipline or punish a child in today's time? I don't believe so. I believe there are other ways to correct a child's behavior. Physically harming them is not an option. Physical punishment can lead to many different things. So, they all have a different opinion on how they should correct a child's behavior or ways of punishment. But for me, I believe that there should be no physical punishment, for there are a lot of bad things and negatives that it causes. But who am I to tell parents how to correct their child's behavior? We don't live in a perfect world, so not every child responds the same way to the same ways of punishment. Like, some ways might not work for some kids, but if I were to have it any way, I wouldn't want physical punishment. Like, for example, I was physically punished growing up, and I believe I turned out to be a fine student and kid and man. I'm a man. But there's always an extreme to something. There always is. And obviously you don't want to abuse your child, because that's traumatizing. It will always lead to bad things. Abuse is bad. But there might be a line where there could be a way of physically punishing your child without causing anything negative or bad, because studies show that physical punishment sometimes leads to cognitive abilities to worsen, and they learn less in school, and then they develop bad social skills. They are antisocial. But maybe there is a way to physically punish your child without having these effects. There are many different forms of abuse and what people's opinions on what they consider abuse. And this is the police officer, mall cop's opinion. What do you consider abuse?
What do I consider abuse? Well, I would physically and verbally, such as, like using horrific words to your child,
Okay.
and striking them, like I said, with a fist, hit him punch him in the back and in the stomach,
Yeah.
in the face, and,
That kind of physical.
that's way too physical.
I see.
That's when the parents should go to jail.
And for me, I believe that abuse is up to the point where the child is traumatized mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. And here is me interviewing a couple people, asking them the same question and seeing their response. In today's time, do you believe that physical punishment should still be allowed or legal?
To a extent. For as physical is concerned, like I said, striking the rear end.
Yeah. Because back then, they used to, be more disciplinary.
Yeah.
Even in schools, they'd punish the children. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, what would you think about corporal punishment in schools? Do you think it's okay today? Because I know there's still some schools around here that do it. Well, not around here, but in our
Some
country.
schools, yeah, because they, if they, it's not happening at home, they're not being corrected.
Yeah.
Well, at least there's a place that they can be corrected, because if not, what they're going to be like when they're older.
I see. Yeah.
It's out of control.
Mr. Kent, do you believe that physical punishment to your parents' young children should still be allowed in today's time?
I say you go Adrian Peterson on their butts. No. No, I think it varies with every kid. I think the parents have to be on the same page in advance before they have children. But there's some kids who can do the timeout chair or whatever. But other kids, I think there's an age when
They get the beating?
yeah, where something, nothing major.
7th grade? Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. If I was a parent, I might disagree with that, but
Who knows?
so spare the rod, spoil the kid.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kent. So, Miguel Fuentes,
Yes.
do you believe that parents should physically discipline or punish their children?
Well, if a child makes a mistake, you should probably try to explain to them why that mistake was wrong and why they shouldn't do it again. But if they repeatedly make the same mistake, then I feel like physical punishment is justified in that case, and it's the most effective way to discipline a child. Like, for example, in past years, parents mainly used physical punishment as a way to discipline children. And if you look in the real world, a lot of adults that were physically disciplined by their parents turned out more responsible than millennials look to be turning out now, because parents stopped using that form of discipline. So, yes, I think in some cases it's justified, but if you take it to an extreme, then that's wrong, and they might turn out like this kid over here.
Interesting. Thank you for your good works today and your beautiful answer. Good night.
You ready?
Yeah.
Take 3.
So, Christian, do you believe that parents should physically discipline their children?
I think no, because if the government left that law open to interpretation, then some families would use that to take advantage of their kids and physically abuse them, and that abuse would be considered discipline when in reality it's abuse. So I feel like if you leave that law open, it's the fine line between discipline and abuse gets diminished, and therefore I think that physical disciplining is not good for children.
Fantastic job.
Thanks, man.
I love you
his
too.
class isn't gonna.
So, these very fine gentlemen provided very good ideas and opinions towards this topic, and I just wanted to provide some more, such as studies found that no evidence in spanking improved behavior. So there's no point if it don't do nothing, you feel? And children who were spanked were more likely to be aggressive and to display antisocial behavior and to have more mental health issues and more negative relationships with their parents. And this means a lot, especially relationships with their parents. And this is just a small reenactment I did with my brother, and it's just a little story I have, and it's not supposed to be offensive in any way, but what actually happened is I broke my dad's DVR with some paper because I got bored. I kind of just stuck it in there, and he got a little mad, and he chased me around this island, but we'll see.
What's that for?
That was my last cookie.
What are you gonna do about it?
And this is just when it was the time when I actually overcame the punishment. It was where I was big enough to not be affected, and it was probably my best moment in my life. So this is the end of my project. Topic on child abuse and punishing children and disciplining them. And I enjoyed myself doing this project. Interviewing that mock cop was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. We're like best buds now. I have an experience with this. First primary source, that's me. But in my opinion, I turned out the way I like to. And it's not all of a result of physical punishment, but don't worry about me.
Good.